All right, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order, please. And we could start by standing for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Sycorn here. Mr. Guffinline here. Ms. Lennigan here. I'll move to approve the minutes for April 15.
Second that.
And I'll take the roll. Ms. Sycorn?
Yes.
Mr. Guffinline?
Yes.
Yes. I'll move to approve the minutes for April 26th.
Second?
Mr. Guffinline?
Yes.
Ms. Sycorn?
Yes.
Ms. Lennigan, yes. Move to approve the minutes for May 13th.
I'll second.
Ms. Sycorn?
Yes.
Mr. Guffinline?
Yes.
And yes, from Ms. Lennigan. And move to approve the minutes for May 14th.
Second?
Mr. Guffinline?
Yes.
Ms. Sycorn?
Yes.
Ms. Lennigan, yes. And move to approve the minutes for May 15th.
Second.
Ms. Sycorn?
Yes.
Mr. Guffinline?
Yes.
Ms. Lennigan, yes. All right, Nancy.
All right. 19052001, purchase orders and blanket certificates.
Okay, move to approve resolution 19052001.
Second?
Questions? Okay, Mr. Guffinline?
Yes.
Mrs. Sycorn?
Yes.
Mrs. Lennigan, yes.
Resolutions 2, approving bills and warrants.
I do, I looked at it and then I handed it back
Right.
down.
Okay, move to approve resolution 19052002.
Second.
Any questions? All right, Mr. Guffinline?
Yes.
Mrs. Sycorn?
Yes.
Ms. Lennigan, yes. Okay, resolution 3, a contract for IT service provider. Whereas Liberty Township interviewed IT service providers, and whereas staff has expressed their desire to expand and improve the current IT capabilities available to the township staff, and whereas staff has thoroughly researched and explored alternatives to find an IT provider which best meets the needs and desires of the township, therefore be it resolved by the Liberty Township Board of Trustees, Delaware County, to hereby authorize the attached contract for information technology services with Delaware County IT at 101 North Sandusky Street, Delaware, Ohio. Further, be it resolved to authorize the township administrator to sign any and all documents to enter into this annual agreement. So I'll move to approve resolution 19052003.
Second?
Okay, discuss.
Yeah, just, did this run through, do we know if this ran through the prosecutor's office? I mean, it's coming from the county, so I assume
I was
it
going to
is.
say, my guess is they would be representing the county.
And I know we had, what, about a year ago, had passed moving to the county, so I'm assuming the only difference is this is the actual contract. If we move forward and vote on it, the only thing is I would say is that with the caveat that they need to go in and there's a lot of spacing and typos within this, so I don't know if it was one of those things where it was a format issue when it was sent, but those definitely need to be fixed and put in the chart. But it's a lot of spacing issues, so it might be a format.
Okay. So, do you want to add that, this needs to be looked at?
Yeah,
I'll make a note of that.
yeah.
Clerically correct.
Yeah, I just don't think we want to have this as, sign up this as the official one,
Understand.
and with that many errors in it.
Okay, Mr. Gumperline?
Yes.
Mrs. Icorn?
Yes.
And Mrs. Lennigan, yes. You want to do it?
Well, I was just gonna say, making sure that since we don't have Kathy here, she would know pending that this was legally reviewed.
Well, it does say that they thoroughly researched and explored alternatives, so.
Okay, well, it is, well, I know we already passed something similar, so. Okay.
Resolution 4 is approving the annual road millage certification, whereas the attached letter from ODOT requests the township to certify the road mileage annually for reimbursement and maintenance reasons. And whereas such approval is desirable or a default number will be used. And whereas the road department has read, reviewed, and validated the report numbers. And whereas the total road mileage has increased by 0.67 miles from 2017, that's clearly wrong.
Is it on the sheet behind it?
17 to 18, and 18 to 19.
It is.
I think we just need to strike that whereas. You know what I mean? Because clearly we had more than 6-7 miles in 2017.
Yeah, it was just the increase of it.
It's increased by 0.67 miles from 2017
Yes,
to
and-
91,270 miles for maintenance in 2018. Boy, that's shocking. I would
No.
have added more than that. 0.67.
Yeah, that, I mean, that's how it's reading. It says 6.7 to 91.27.
Could that be correct? 0.67 miles? All right. Now therefore be it resolved by the Liberty Township Board of Trustees, Delaware County, Ohio, hereby certifies the attached road mileage report to be true and accurate and appropriate for filing with ODOT.
Yeah, if you look at, oh, you give it
So
a
I'll
second.
move to approve resolution 19052004.
You were making the comments.
No, go ahead and
Get a
get a
second.
second and then
I'll
we
second
can.
that.
No,
I
yeah,
see, I'm just shocked.
yeah,
You're going
yeah, so
over
from
half
91,
mile
Yeah.
of road.
Yeah.
91.2 to,
All right. We'll take the vote. Mr. Gamperline?
Yeah.
Mrs. Icorn?
um, it- and yes.
I have trouble hearing.
Okay.
Turn the mic on, I don't think the system's on. Switch it back.
It's right here, though.
That's-
Okay, so we have a second. Mr. Gumperline?
Yeah.
Mrs. Icorn?
Yes.
And Mrs. Linehan, yes, on 4. Resolution 19052005, authorizing expenditure for a Fuel Master system warranty. Whereas Liberty Township issues a Fuel Master for on-site refueling, and whereas the best practice and most cost-effective to maintain a warranty on this equipment. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Liberty Township, Delaware County, Ohio, authorizes the payment of $2,650 payable to Syntech Systems, Inc., 100 Four Points Way, Tallahassee, Florida, 32305, for a warranty on the Fuel Master System house at the Liberty Township Fire Department. The payment will be made from each fund based on use. Move to approve resolution 19052005.
Second.
Mr. Gumperline?
Yes.
Mrs. Icorn?
Yes.
Mrs. Linehan, yes. I just realized that I overlooked public comment. Do you want to go to public comment now or finish the
I say we
resolutions?
finish the resolution.
Okay, I apologize. That was an oversight. Okay, resolution number 6. Approve resurfacing contract through Delaware County Engineers Office, whereas Liberty Township received bids for resurfacing of streets as approved by Resolution 19010717 from the Delaware County Engineers Office. Whereas the Delaware County Engineer Office has submitted its bids and contracts to be approved by the Board of Trustees in order that work may begin by the county's designated vendor, the Shelley Company. And whereas the attached documents show the total cost for the 2019 resurfacing project to be $864,269.25, which includes a 10% contingency, and the road department has an adequate funding available in the approved budget for the 2019 road improvements. And whereas the contract between the township and the Shelley Company and the memorandum of understanding between the township and the Delaware County engineer must be approved by the Board of Trustees, and now therefore be it resolved by the Liberty Township Board of Trustees, Delaware County, Ohio, that the contract with the Shelley Company for the 2019 resurfacing project awarded for the amount of $864,269.25 be approved, and be it further resolved that the memorandum of understanding between the township and the Delaware County engineer regarding the 2019 resurfacing project be approved. I'll move to approve resolution 19052006.
I will second that.
Mrs. Ackworth?
Yes.
Mr. Gemperling?
Yes.
Mrs. Monahan? Yes.
Spent $250,000.
Resolution 19052007, adopting updated official zoning district map. Whereas Liberty Township is required to periodically update its official zoning district map, and whereas the zoning inspector has presented an updated official zoning district map to the trustees for adoption, and now therefore be it resolved by the Liberty Township Board of Trustees, Delaware County, Ohio, that the official zoning district map dated May 6, 2019 is hereby adopted. Move to approve resolution 19052007.
Second. Would anybody else like to see this in the audience?
This is not dated.
Nope. If you do, it'll be up here at the end.
It says map dated, doesn't it? In the resolution.
Yeah, it says
At the
it's
top.
dated May 6th.
I think we have to write it in.
Yeah. Okay, we have to put today's date, but it's saying it's dated May 6th, so we're just kind of looking for where that might be. Tracy? Or Charles?
I didn't see a date.
Maybe we put in today's date and then put on the side the date that it was changed and then approved by us.
All right, move to approve resolution 19052007.
Second.
And Mr. Gumperland?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackland?
Yes.
Mrs. Lenahan? Yes. Resolution 19052008, authorizing the hiring of one part-time Parks and Road Services worker. Whereas Liberty Township Parks and Road Services Department budgets have been submitted to the Board of Trustees, including personnel costs. And whereas the Parks and Road Services Department is in need of hiring one part-time employee who will be scheduled as needed, will report to the park supervisor, and will work in accordance with the Affordable Care Act. This position is to fill vacancies created by seasonal workers not returning this year. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Delaware, of Liberty Township, Delaware County, Ohio, to approve the hire of Luke Riedel as a as a part-time Parks and Road Services worker at the rate of $11 per hour to be paid from the Parks and Road Services funds as determined by the Parks and Road Services Department Superintendent. Move to approve resolution 19052008.
Second.
Mrs. Ackworth?
Yes.
Mr. Gumperline?
Yes.
Mrs. Lenahan? Yes. Anybody else want to read? Resolution 19052009, authorize expenditure for Blue Card Command Certification Education Renewal. Whereas the Liberty Township Fire Department officially adopted the Blue Card Command system as the system the department operates under for emergency responses, and whereas all fire department officers are either certified or currently registered for the program, and Battalion Chief Dwayne Price is a certified Blue Card Command instructor. And whereas it is necessary to renew all blue card command certifications for fire department command officers, lieutenants, and out-of-class firefighters. And whereas the renewal costs include unlimited online continuing education and training programs and the maintenance by the blue card system of all related records, including personnel certified education and command certification. Therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Liberty Township, Delaware County, Ohio, authorizes the expenditure of up to $7,000 for all command staff company officers and out-of-class firefighter payable to Blue Card Across the Street Productions, 1910 Stone Ridge Drive, Suite A, South Bend, Indiana. Move to approve resolution 19052009.
Second.
Mr. Gemberline?
Yes.
Mrs. Eichhorn?
Yes.
And Mrs. Leningham? Yes. Resolution 19052010, recommending approval of a division of liquor control new license application for FFC Eatery 1203 LLC. Whereas Liberty Township has received an application from the Department of Commerce, Division of Liquor Control for a new license permit from FFC Eatery 1203 LLC 9711 Sawmill Parkway, Powell. And whereas there is no need to delay of this administrative process, therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Liberty Township, Delaware County, Ohio, that the trustees direct the Township Fiscal Officer to respond to the State of Ohio with a position of no hearing requested for FFC Eatery 1203 LLC in attaining their desired outcome in this process in a timely manner and recommending approval of the request. Move to approve Resolution 19052010.
Second.
Mrs. Eichhorn?
Yes.
Mr. Gemperline?
Yes.
Mrs. Leningham? Yes. Resolution 19052011, authorizing expenditure for purchase of a hose tester, whereas the Liberty Township Fire Department annual test hoses to ensure proper and effective function, and whereas it's necessary to replace the current 14-year-old hose tester, which is not functioning and beyond repair. Therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Liberty Township, Delaware County, Ohio, authorizes the expenditure not to exceed $3,200 for the purchase of a new hose tester payable to Finley Fire Equipment. Move to approve Resolution 19052011.
Second.
Mr. Gemperline?
Yes.
Mrs. Eichhorn?
Yes.
Resolution 19052012, authorizing the expenditure for the purchase and installation of Your Speed flashing signs at Old Sawmill and Presidential. Whereas, go ahead. Do you want-
Actually, if you keep going, well, I was going to say they needed to add addicts, but the next sentence does.
Okay. Whereas traffic safety has been an ongoing concern, with numerous accidents occurring at the intersections of Old Sawmill and Presidential and Old Sawmill and Addicts. And whereas the installation of flashing Your Speed signs has been proven to reduce speed and raise safety awareness. And whereas while more long-term safety improvements must be studied and considered, the installation of flashing Your Speed signs will help to improve safety by reducing speed and raising awareness of safety issues. And whereas, should future long-term improvements be made, these signs may be moved to other needed locations. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Liberty Township to authorize the Parks and Road Services Superintendent to expend funds not to exceed $11,223 for the purchase of 4 Your Speed signs and 2 flashing stop signs for installation at the north and southbound lanes of Old Sawmill Parkway, at Addicts Road and Presidential Parkway, as recommended by the Delaware County Engineers Office Traffic Study.
Chairman?
I don't know if this is in the budget.
Okay, it hasn't been reviewed?
Well, I did the budget. I didn't put it in there.
Well, can we talk about it?
Yeah,
'Cause I
let's
did
go
have a
ahead.
meeting. And
We'll
before you move though, which is going to make you all so much even happier, is that I need you to increase that by $4,000 because there's a software component that's not included in that. So we'd be talking but we'll talk about it, and I can tell you actually, when we first sat down and talked about it, it was gonna be, they thought 30,000, so this is significantly less, but let's make the motion, then I can.
To approve resolution 19052012.
Second.
So, oh, that's fine, just,
We
let's talk through it and then we can go from there. So we've talked before many times, I think, about the attics and the presidential and the issues that we have there. As you recall, we had a study done there. They came back. The long-term plan was roundabouts, which we know are costly. They are effective, but they are costly. So Doug Riedel, who works at the engineer's office and also is a township resident, and he always goes above and beyond. So we are very fortunate to have him in that office. The story goes, he gets invited to these webinars all the time, and he tries to tune in, and there was one he wasn't planning on tuning into. And the last minute, he decided to jump on, and it had a lot to do with the new gas tax, which is passed now, that there is going to be some additional funding for safety issues. And one of the qualifications is when you're looking at an area, have they had at least 10 accidents in a 3-year period? We've had 29. And those are the ones that have been documented. I'm sure there are plenty that have not been. So that's going to be at 13, but I'm trying to kind of give you the whole background. So he felt that we would be a great candidate to get funding for a roundabout there. Now, this is presidential. Addicts would be the next phase, but first would be at presidential. That is a long-term solution, because even if we would start the process now, it probably would not start happening until 2022. Time goes by fast, so I know that sounds like it's far away, but we know it would be here before. And I'm not making any promises. We'd have to go through the process, but based on the qualifications, it looks pretty good. So that would take care of our long-term. Now, as a board, we'd have to look, because any of those types are 80%, 85%. So again, we have to look at the numbers when they came in. But in the meantime, for a short term that we've been looking at, it was suggested, based on all the different calming measures, the your speed flashing lights seem to work best on the studies. So originally they thought each one was $7,500, so they thought it was going to cost $30,000. You'd have one going each side up at presidential and
southbound.
north and southbound. So it being on Summit.
Okay.
You're on Summit.
Stopping traffic on
Yeah,
Old Town.
so yes, so you would be stopping, it would just be flashing, letting you know your speed.
Right.
And then this would also cover, that's why I want to make sure it's clear, the addicts. So both of those would get your speed flashing
The
signs.
east-westbound.
All of these are going to be going on Salmo.
Okay.
Yes, so what I'm saying, you have it down here and then you have it further up.
Right.
These also are able to be transferred, so when the roundabouts go, this wouldn't be wasted money. We could take them and put them somewhere else. They were very excited to find out that they miscalculated the figures, and it's significantly less. Instead of what they thought it was, it came in at $11,223, but I got a phone call from Andy saying he really suspects that they're, from talking with them, that there's going to be probably an additional $4,000 for software. We did talk about the budget. That's a big piece whenever we have anything, and Nancy, I get if you're not comfortable signing off, but I did talk to Andy about that. He said that the paving budget is coming in, which I think going back to here, with 40,000 cushion. So he felt pretty confident and felt within his budget that this is why he would be recommending it. But he's not here tonight. And if you want to have further conversations, I get that from a fiscal standpoint. But he was confident about being able to not go over his budget with this being approved. And the sooner the better. I think we all are in agreement, we're sick of seeing accidents there.
So are you proposing this come out of the road budget?
Yes.
All right, how about if we give Nancy till the next meeting to talk about it financially?
There's no money in the road budget.
Yeah.
I mean, we can wait until after the roads are done, which will be, at the end of August,
Yes.
maybe September, and view this again.
Okay.
But admin gave roads a lot of money
Yeah.
because they didn't have any.
Right.
So,
We took
with
it
that
from
in
the general
mind.
fund and we gave it to road.
Whatever number he had, he was pretty confident, but that's a conversation that we're going to need to have with them. I know, like I said, Andy was pretty confident and felt we could move forward with it.
Moving money around, basically.
Yes, like he felt that there was money that had been allocated that is coming in under, so he wanted to use that money to help with the safety of this, because he felt, I think we all feel 29 in 3 years is, and that's not even including addicts, that is just that presidential.
Nancy, can you have a conversation with Andy in that regard?
Sure.
All right. So we'll go ahead and move to table it. Of course, it's a fabulous idea, and if we can afford it, you know, I can't imagine not wanting to have it there. You know, the engineer has pushed back for, we've been asking for what, 5 years for something? We've tried a lot of different things. Nothing is cutting back on the accident, so try
Right.
something else.
And I think if it doesn't work in the roads, I think as a board, we need to still look at, is there any place else? Because I think it's very important that we fix that, especially, like I said, you've got a lot of teenagers driving out there and,
And now,
Can you say
are we gonna have to put it, when you talked about Doug, were you talking about this, where's the city and where's the township? Is
That
that
was-
something maybe the city would want?
that is something too, that was a discussion as well. And it kind of went back to the speed of the project, how quickly we wanted it in. And I know there was going to be some conversations that are being taken place with the
Okay.
city.
Okay, all right, so we'll move to table this for now. Let me just get a second on the table.
Second.
Move to table. And we'll pick it back up after Nancy has a chance.
Aiming for next meeting though, correct?
Yeah. It would be nice to have it in, for, you know, get it going for summer. Okay, resolution 19052013, authorizing request for engineering assistant for traffic study improvements at Old Sawmill and Presidential.
And, you know, we've already done this, but
Yeah.
to be able to do this grant, you have to do this part again.
There's a grant?
Well, it would be the money, this isn't for the flashing sign, this is for the roundabout.
Okay. All right, so resolution 190213, whereas Liberty Township may request assistance from the Delaware County Engineer's Office with various roadway traffic safety issues, roadway planning and maintenance, culverts, and ditch drainage issues. Therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Liberty Township, Delaware County, Ohio, to authorize the Parks and Road Services Superintendent to submit a request for engineering assistance to the Delaware County Engineer for assistance with determining appropriate permanent traffic safety improvements for the intersection at Old Sawmill and Presidential. Move to approve resolution 19052013.
Second?
Mr. Gumperline?
Yes.
Mrs. Eichhorn?
Yes.
Ms. Lenigan? Yes. So we'll go,
Before we go there, since it is not signed and we have not adjourned, can we please go back to the IT contract and make a, since the contract isn't signed, and make a change to that? So I make a resolution to amend the passing of 19052-003 pending legal review, just in case it didn't have legal review. Can I get a second on that one?
I'll second that.
all right, let's, we have a motion on the floor to amend resolution 19052003, adding the terms pending legal review by the county prosecutor.
Yeah, and I'm pretty confident it's already been done, but I think we need to have that language in there.
All right, I've made the motion to amend that resolution.
Second.
Mrs. Eichhorn?
Yes.
Mr. Gumperline?
Yes.
Mrs. Lenihan? Yes. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do public comment. And Nico Fernando.
Good evening, trustees. Nico Fernando, 2025 Lexington Drive, Peterson Township. I wanted to come before you this evening to offer some resident feedback on the aggregation programs that the voters approved last November. As I'm sure you guys are aware, we've now gone into contract for gas aggregation. Some of the voters have hit homes with a negotiated rate for gas aggregation as a part of the contract that Trevell negotiated. I had an opportunity, as I was going through mail, got a recent gas bill to analyze the apples to apples difference in what it seems that the aggregation contract is saving residents. So the difference between the gas contract and the electric contract is that the gas contract was negotiated as a variable rate contract, so gas is more expensive in the winter, and it's less expensive in the summer. And so the contract that Trabell negotiated allows the rate that we pay to float based on an average out of the New York Mercantile Exchange, plus basically a surplus that covers costs delivered to us. That's different than the electric aggregation because that was a fixed rate at a certain rate per kilowatt hour for the term of the contract. So in looking at the standard service offer, which is offered by Columbia Gas if you're not in a contract, that also is a floating rate based on the NYMEX plus a rider. The standard service offer is 11.8 cents per 100 cubic feet of gas is the additional to the spot rate at the Mercantile Exchange. The negotiated rate that Trabell delivered to the township was 11.5 cents per 100 cubic feet of gas as the rate. So that effectively is a 3 mil difference or a 0.3 cent difference per 100 cubic feet of gas that a residential customer uses in the township. I had an opportunity because Columbia Gas does a nice job of displaying your historical usage. It gives you a 13-month usage. And so over the last 13 months, if we had been using the Trabell rate instead of the spot rate that Columbia Gas offers, that would have saved my household $2.28 for the year. So my concern about that is that, especially given Trabell's contract with Genoa Township, listed a 7 cents per 100 cubic feet of gas fee for them. My question is, are you guys familiar with or can you disclose the rate that Trabell is charging that feeds into that combined rate that we received? Because my concern would be that we might be in a situation where the aggregator is now taking the vast majority of the savings that they were able to realize and only passing on 3 mils of savings to the households, which in my case, and mine is not certainly the biggest house in Liberty Township, but in my case, that's out to a $2.28 savings per year, so I guess that's one more cup of Starbucks for me. Are you guys able to share what the Trabell fee is on that, and so we can more closely evaluate what part of the savings is going to Trabell and what part of the savings is going to homeowners?
I'm not, no.
Did you guys receive the billing that, or the contract that specifies their pricing for the gas aggregation?
No, I did not.
Perhaps then I'm confused because I thought that was on the amendments or the exhibits that Kathy provided to you guys when you were looking at the contract. Would that be something that I can make a public record request for to receive the amount of billing that Trabell is receiving per 100 cubic feet of gas?
I would imagine, we ran into a lot of legal issues when we were trying to provide that before. So I don't know if it'll be the same response or not.
Okay. Well, I can fully make that request as a part of these meeting minutes, or I can email in to Nancy and to Kathy at your preference, but I'd like to try and see if we can get to that number so we as residents can understand how much of that savings is going into Trabell's pocket and how much is actually being realized by the residents of Liberty Township.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Thank you very much.
It needs to be an email.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, Gary Johnson.
My name is Gary Johnson. I live at 388 Inwood Lane, Powell, Ohio. This is in reference to the hiring process for the new township administrator. I served 25 years as a chief officer in the municipal department and as a consultant, advisor, and search committee member for new hires ranging from new full-time fire department startups to firefighters, chiefs, and government department heads. I share the concerns expressed by many township residents on the hiring process of the new township administrator. In December, the Fitch report was the driving force behind change that was espoused by the leadership of this body. Let's take a look at just a few of the quotes from that report and observations and concerns expressed in it regarding Delaware County EMS. Quote, one important issue for career EMS personnel is the absence of a career ladder that does not involve supervision. Quote, first line supervisors, lieutenants are part of the daily crew. Captains and above are rarely available to observe and document performance on calls. Quote, We also found little evidence of agency involvement in public information, education, and prevention programs or other outreach efforts. Quote, the chief officers as a group lack an expansive vision for a 21st century EMS agency. Quote, staff are concerned and routinely cite examples that chief officers are not current on how things work in the field. Quote, we are also concerned that there is no formal leadership development program for the lieutenants, captains, or chief officers. These are all red flags of ineffective organizational leadership, and I would have thought would also have been explored further prior to making this most recent decision. I have no animus towards the new township administrator, but seriously question his qualifications for this position. When asked by a newspaper reporter what qualified him for this position, he replied, hard work, dedication, and a desire to help people. These are character traits, not specific qualifications. This individual doesn't have any degree and little to no experience in economic development, zoning, or other areas of running a township. Quite frankly, we did a much better job at vetting and screening our newly hired firefighters, which, by the way, often took several months. This individual was recently the subject of disciplinary action involving a 5-day suspension. This is a serious issue for any employee, especially the leader of an organization. What did previous performance reviews state? What about discussions with those he worked for, as well as those that worked for him? Public employee evaluations and disciplinary actions are not subject to any general public records exemption. Review of these records is quite common, especially when considering an executive government position, especially when the candidate is so close to this prospective hiring agency. And a 1-year golden parachute clause, where is the due diligence? Answer, there isn't.
Don Kaiser.
I'm Don Kaiser, 3382 Winding Woods Road, Nepal. Easy question. Could we have a map of the township put on the website?
I thought we did, and I apologize if we did not. I don't know when we were updating it, that got removed. I thought the zoning map was on the website.
I haven't found it, and like you held up the zoning map, that would be helpful as well. So
Yeah.
just simple request. Thank you.
Are you guys aware of it?
Okay, that concludes public discussion.
Unscheduled business.
And now we'll move to unscheduled business.
Couple things. So, first thing is, and I want to make sure I have all the names right. So, I sit on the Ohio Scenic River Council, and an issue that has been brought to our attention is regarding the, make sure I'm saying this all right, the 315 plug pile wall projects that are coming about. This is going to be not until probably the spring of 2021, I believe it. Well, actually, it might even be spring of 2022. But I think it's important that it's on our radar because we're going to need to do a lot of communication with the residents. And also, too, I think us working together with them will help the process. They have been, when I say them, ODOT has been working a great deal with many of the organizations, including the Ohio Scenic River Council with Clout. And, but I just want to make you guys aware of it. So I only have one of these, so I'm going to have to show them to you. So
what is their concern?
So the issue is, it's the same thing as, when you get to the bottom of 715, 315, Powell Road and Powell Road. Okay, I'm not talking about if you're coming down Powell Road, the walls here. I'm talking about if you were going down towards Polaris Mall, okay, and instead of going straight over 315, you take a left. And you know the construction that they did?
The north-south.
Yes, on the right side. Same thing, it was the same concept, and what it is, it's trying to keep the land right there from falling into the river. Some of the other issues going up and down here is there's a lot of sitting water whenever we have rain, which is quite dangerous. So from the safety concerns, I think it's very valid that this needs to be done. But the issues that I think that we need to have continued discussions with is when we're talking about, the Olentangy Heritage Corridor, State Scenic Byway, and about trying to preserve the beauty of it, and how can we have them do it in the most, or the least, invasive manner, and they do believe that's what they're trying to do, but there's certain things that needs to be discussed, because they're going to be taking a significant amount of trees down. On the left side, they're going to be putting in a ditch, so you can imagine what that's gonna look like. They, from my understanding, have agreed that they would do maintenance for up to a year. But I think maybe we need to talk about possibly doing more. So I just want to put this on our radar. The project manager is Steve Fellinger, and they are going to plan in coming in August to discuss with us, talk with the residents, make sure that they do take care of a safety issue, and that we make it as best as possible. So just something to make sure that we, and you can see these are all the.
So they are reaching out then to be here?
I have reached out to them to ask them to come, but they agreed after some conversations. Here, all the red, Mike, you might want to see how far this goes. All this red is where it all is. So you're talking about Bunny Station, all the way down. You're talking about from Timberlake down past Shale. So what I'm saying is.
What is that north of Bunny? Is that the city or is that a township?
That would be Delaware City, right? As soon as you pass that. Yeah, and then this by Mina Ollier.
All right.
So too, I mean, we've got to think about even the communication, which we'll work with them about making sure we try to keep the semis off of that. I mean, we had issues with that before about, and when we're redirecting. So there's just a lot of pieces, and I want to make sure that our residents aren't caught off guard. And I do know that they said they've been sending out letters, and they'll continue to communicate, but I don't think we can over-communicate this project.
Who's doing it?
In ODOT.
Okay.
We'll have the opportunity to approve what they're.
No, ODOT's going to do, but I did find that Steve and Marcy were very willing to work with us, and like I said, they've been working with other groups. I think it's to just making sure that everyone's aware of it, it's going to be done in possibly a couple of phases, and just seeing what the entire plan looks like, because I want to see what kind of impact it's going to have on the township afterwards when you're talking about the maintenance of it. So that was one piece. The other piece has to do with an email that I know Kathy sent us regarding the office lease coming up. So I just wanted to make sure that we were all in the same agreement of making sure that our new administrator comes in, that we look at some creative ways so we're not stuck in the same position we were last time with the lease.
I agree, that's a priority.
And then the other thing, when I had stopped by earlier today, and I was excited and maybe we can have him in, but the Andy Hoover is the fire department's new clergy, and we haven't had one since 2009, and that's a volunteer position. But I think I know we all care a great deal about the mental health, and we know, as many people have seen in the news, it takes a toll what they see. So it's nice that we do have a program of, through our HR department for some additional counseling, but I think having the men reached out and found a clergy for them, I think it's something that's great. So welcome to Andy Hoover.
I overlooked Alan's shoot. Is Alan here? Sorry, Alan. I knew I had 4, and I'm going through my head, I'm like, I know I only heard from 3 people.
I'm sorry if you guys have to revisit this. I'm sorry if you guys get bored with it. But I'm Alan Shoup, live at 10187 Sawmill Road, right corner of Sawmill Residential. I'm sorry, I'm not real good at public speaking. I really don't want to see y'all naked. But I just want to make sure I understand this. I just want to make sure I understood you all correctly. You're doing a study, and I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm fiscal officer Nancy Denuti.
And I like you because you don't have the money. But you're going to put up the goal, the ultimate goal is going to be a roundabout, correct? And there's nothing that can scale that back instead of being fiscally responsible, maybe using those studies, shut down the skipping Sawmill Parkway. I think it would reduce a lot of the issues.
I'm sorry, reducing what?
Shut down what?
Basically shut down the Sawmill Parkway people from saying, okay, no stoplights on Old Sawmill. I call it Original Sawmill, I grew up there, so.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So your suggestion was to not go to the extreme of
Yes.
a
Spend that kind of
roundabout.
money, because they're what, $1, $2, $3 million, something like that?
It would probably be 1.2. Now, we would only have to do, I shouldn't say only, because it still would be a large expense. They would take care of 85% to 90% of the cost, so
Well,
we don't have
closer
that
to
difference.
2 million, I'd probably make you guys buy my house.
Well, there you go. I know, we've talked about lights before, it's just, it's,
So you're
Also,
saying you're,
flashing red lights.
yeah.
'Cause you make enough people mad, they're gonna quit doing that. Because if you follow people, they turn left on the Tucks, get back on Sawmill Parkway, or turn left into Sawmill, which is stupid, but I'm sorry, is that?
no, they're going, because of what we passed in, the last resolution that we passed tonight, they're gonna be looking at all those different, they're not just gonna be looking at the roundabouts. I can tell you though, their last, what do you call it, study, which we can get you a copy of, went through all the different, traffic calming measures. I know I was not excited about the roundabout on Jewett and Liberty, but it's worked fantastic.
Yeah, somebody says, well, it's pretty, I don't care about pretty.
It's
Oh, I
very-
was just watching, yeah, it's effective,
It keeps
that's,
traffic
yeah,
flowing safely. It
yeah.
keeps it
So,
safe.
but yeah,
We've done a lot of things in an effort. We recently put up, things saying, hey, the stop signs are coming up. There's a stop sign up there. We put it on both sides of the road.
The trees,
How cut
yeah.
back the tree line.
Move the
We've done the what?
Move
Yeah,
the
the
stop
stop bar
bar.
up. Move the stop bar up so people could actually see before they stopped. They've taken some minor
Very.
opportunities to just try. It's
but
really not
that's-
effective.
I'm sorry, I laughed at the stop bar thing, people are still gonna inch up.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's,
no, we were wanting them to inch up. We were having teenagers that weren't inching up.
right, it was stopping you too far back. You couldn't see if
Well,
the
yeah,
traffic was
but
coming.
people are still gonna pull up to see traffic.
Yeah,
But they-
and honestly, I don't know if anything will work. We don't know. I mean,
Right,
we
yeah,
can
well,
only,
You have
do
to
what
take
we do.
ignorance out of it, so it's one of those ways.
No, just some of the feedbacks we got from some of the ones that were in the wreck were some of the teenagers weren't inching up. They were taking, you just came out of the driver's ed, they were taking it fair, you know what I mean? So that they weren't. And then there was some. And I do agree with you, some of it just comes down to behavior, right? Is the other person speeding? Are you taking a chance and pulling out? I mean, those are just driving behaviors. But I do think when you have a pattern of 29, crashes in 3 months, and that really has been a safety issue that we need to look at it.
Well, I grew up in Akron ever since I moved back here.
You what?
I've been wondering about it ever since I moved back here in '05.
Yeah. Well, I think that the flashing stop signs was the next thing that I had said to Matt, hey, if this isn't effective, next we have to do, we just keep trying something. Again, maybe nothing's gonna work. I
Well, in
don't know.
high school, I used to cut through carriage all the time. Can't do that now, so keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, but that neighborhood that half still want the speed bumps, half don't, that kind of thing. But yeah, when I met with Doug Riedel and Andy this past week, your speed, the actual where it flashes the speed, seems to have an impact.
We'll see.
Yeah, for a short period of time.
According to that is the most effective out of all the different measures.
Okay, I do taxes, so I'm gonna trust somebody else on that. Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you,
guys.
Alan.
Thank you.
Also under new business,
Thanks for holding.
Matt and I had been working on responding to the county's, October 30th proposal. And we were kind of waiting for some final action steps I was, since Matt departed, and I have prepared a draft that I want to give to you guys, and I want a motion to send it to the county prosecutor to be reviewed. So here it is, it's just a draft, and I just want to make a motion to forward this to the county prosecutor to be reviewed. Now, they're probably not going to do it because they'll claim a conflict of interest, and if that's the case, I would motion that we would have private legal counsel review it. And you can take it, you know, either way, it would have to be reviewed, and then we wouldn't pass it anyway. So if you want to take it home and read it, just to prove that it go to for legal review.
Basically review for guidance of changes that may not be made.
Mm-hmm. And even after it's legally reviewed, we can amend it or, you know, do different things with it.
But the final would need to be reviewed.
We'd have to pass it by resolution.
Right, but would it need to be?
It would need to go back.
Yes.
Yeah, if we had made any major changes.
So is that a resolution that you're putting out?
So, yeah, I want to, I'd like to make a resolution, we'll call it we'll call it Resolution 19052014 to send the copy of this draft to the county prosecutor for legal, for them to review it, and then if they don't review it, if they say conflict, which they will, to send it to private counsel to be reviewed. And this is basically a response to their original proposal.
I'll second
Again, Shira, it's just to go for review.
I understand that, but
And we can discuss changes, you know, another time, because legal is going to tear it up anyway. Or make, you know, make a lot of recommendations.
I'm almost
sure.
done. It'll just take me another minute.
Okay.
Although I know we're just asking it to go to legal, I think again, I just continue to have two issues. Of course, it would be great to have more money. I want to have more money. I think that's a discussion that's going to happen soon. We are actually truly already having discussions, as we all know, with, you know, talking to them about what's going to happen after the focus of the patient care. But again, I think we're not going to have the results that we are looking for if it isn't a county approach, even though we're responsible for our township. I don't think we're going to get where we need to be. I also don't think we've had meetings to really analyze their budget. I know I've talked about trying to bring in some more of the experts, people that are very strong in numbers and who have looked at this, such as Joe Stottenberg, who I spent some time with, breaking down the county budget and what's going to be realistic, because we know it's going to have a domino effect, and we know the commissioners know this. So I just don't think this is the way to go, and I think I think it's going to be a wasted time from legal to spend on private until we really dive into it and analyze it the way it needs to be analyzed.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Some of the board,
I think they'll probably beat it up a bit.
I see no harm in them evaluating.
Mike Romer has repeatedly keeps asking me, please send us a proposal, please send us a proposal, please send us a response, please send us a response. Talked to Commissioner Jeff Benton last week. He said, we know you passed the resolution, but we'd like you to present us a response. And so the administrator of the county is requesting it. That is why we started preparing it.
I think there's a difference from them really seeking information from us and us pressing them for a response. So, again, I think we're hearing two very different things. I think we will wait and see when the commissioners respond to this. Again, I think it's important that we do seek more money, but I think there's a right way to do it, and I think this definitely is not the right way to go about doing it, and I think it's really just not strategically picking the number. It's just, or strategically coming up with the number that's going to work.
Ultimately, it's in their hands. They want to hear from us. They said, give us a proposal of what, respond to our proposal with a proposal, not a resolution. So that is all this is.
They're not seeking a proposal from us. What they're saying is we sent them a resolution with a demand. Then the demand was, well, you made this demand, what truly are you asking for? So I don't think we need to get the impression like they're seeking this proposal from us. That's not the case. We sent them a resolution saying that we're making a demand of $1 million. There has to be more information behind it. That's where, at least I see from the communication I'm having with them, how it's being seen.
Okay.
Now, I can understand you see Mike Cromer's asking for this.
Yes, he has repeatedly asked for this.
Mike from
Yeah,
you.
the administrator of the
So
county.
he's been seeking from you, not from you asking when there's gonna be reply.
He
He's been seeking from you.
immediately told Matt he wanted a response. He told Matt again, because I said, have you heard anything from the county? And he says, they keep telling us they want a response. They want a proposal. So
Who's we? Are you saying the commissioners are saying they want a
Mike
proposal?
Cromer, who speaks for them,
Okay,
told Matt they want a proposal.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
again, that's not what I'm hearing, so that's fine, I will.
Well,
make some phone
there
calls.
does seem to be some discourse and different messages, so.
It does, but again, we're setting this to legal without us really sitting down and analyzing and having significant discussions about it. And something to this magnitude, I would think we would want to do that before we waste any legal's time.
So we have had significant discussions. I've been working with this and Matt, and I believe he sent you copies as well.
He
So
has, but it's not
only-
detailed. It's basically backing into a number. You picked a number, and then it was for us to figure out how to get to that number. It wasn't truly looking at all the different aspects of it.
Well, this is what he developed. I took it from there, put in some numbers, and.
Matt didn't come up with these numbers. You told him specifically when you did the $1 million resolution, and then
Right.
we took those numbers, and that's how we ended up with this.
Right, so when Froma asked him for a proposal, this is kind of what he put together, but there is more to it than that. We've added stuff to it. It's simple, it's a proposal. The county has requested a response to their proposal, and this is it. And I think we have to do it. The other thing is, we've been asking the county for money, for more money for 7 years, actually. And we are operating and budgeting without a contractual agreement. So it's irresponsible to sit here and budget based on funding that they can stop anytime. It's irresponsible to budget without knowing you're gonna get the money. This gives them an opportunity to respond. They want to respond according to Mike, and they can't respond because they don't think.
Were
the
they ever
resolution
asking for
is
us a
enough.
proposal before we passed that resolution? No.
Yes, they sent a proposal. When you get a proposal, you respond to it.
But
So
no, they're
we-
saying they're asking for a proposal seeking money, where they made it very clear that they wanted to do patient
This
care
is a complete
first.
proposal. This
That's
is a
not complete.
proposal.
That there's
It's
no
basically-
analytics behind it. That is just,
Well,
Again,
there
we can-
actually is.
There's just
and that's, so we'll
general
have
numbers.
to agree to disagree on that, which
Okay.
is fine. I have a second, so we'll take a vote. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Saghorn?
no.
And Ms. Linehan, yes. So resolution 1905214 passes. We'll forward this on just to get legal counsel on it. It's really not anything, a big deal. When it comes back, we can decide whether.
Okay, well then, I think since they have made it very clear and they've gone on public record saying that they wanted us to work through the pre-care hospitalization board, so so we can focus on patient care, which then will lead to county funding. I would like to make a resolution for us to approve that our chief will be attending the pre-care hospitalization, because my understanding was, based on his February presentation, he was supposed to be attending those, and I have been informed now that he was told not to attend those.
No, that's not at all the case.
Okay, then what is the case?
What the board had approved was for him to attend the meetings that included Delaware City, Liberty Township, Delaware County. That was the original board, and that was what we approved.
We actually, I don't think we approved anything, did we? Wasn't that just
Yes.
discussions?
No, we did. We approved that we discussed with the chief that he could attend those meetings. Now they have completely changed it. So it's not the same thing at all. So we have not passed a resolution for our chief to attend that particular group's meetings.
But in February,
So
that I have it on the minutes, and I have it on audio, where they explain to them about how they're bringing in other townships. We even asked what other townships, and we gave it a blessing as he walked away. So I'm not understanding, when I have it on a 2-minute tape, how that's changed since February. So if we're going to ask for money, then well, let's just do I have a second for that resolution for for our chief to be attending the pre-care hospitalization? Because if we care so much about funding and patient care, surely we want them attending that.
I have asked Mike Fromer to please come in and make a presentation on this new group, because this is something completely different than what we originally started with.
Well, we'll agree
So-
to disagree on that. And Mike Fromer doesn't feel it's necessary for him to come in because our chief has already made that presentation.
So again, they've changed the whole group.
Nope.
They've invited, they have, because the Concord Fire.
They
Chief-
haven't changed since February when we sat here, listened to it, talked about it. So again, I'm not understanding why he missed the last one, or I'm hoping they're not going to miss it again, because it has not changed. But even if you see it has changed, I again then am asking for a second, because I want to make sure that there is clear direction here. Are we participating or are we not?
I have to hear what it is. I think the goals have changed too. The original goals of the original group, the mission, from everything I understand, everything's different.
Fromer's not coming in to present that, so are you confident with the chief presenting that?
If the chief wants to present about the new group, I don't know how he knows about it, because he didn't formulate it. He didn't come up with the goals and missions of it.
He talked about it in February. We have the audio.
Well, then I didn't understand that
Then
he
if
was
you-
saying that everything's changing, or we're taking a brand new direction.
We talked about the other townships even participating, and even that was when we were talking about how it was the gold, and which one would be coming in on that.
Okay, well, I mean, we can banter back and forth all night.
Well, I can discuss the audio.
I'm one trustee, and I don't have a clear understanding of all the changes that they're implementing from the original group that we approved. And before I approve participation in it, I need to understand it. It's that simple.
Well, Fromer's not coming in, so again, if chief understands the direction, because same thing he presented us in February, if he comes in and presents it,
So
are you comfortable with the presentation?
You're speaking for Mike Cromer?
Yeah, Mike Fromer is not coming in to present that, and I feel he's made that very clear.
He told you that? Because he didn't tell me that.
He didn't tell you that?
No, he
Okay.
did not.
Okay.
No, he did not.
All right, well, then I tell you what, in the next 2 weeks, because this is something important, especially when we're talking about this tying in with everything, if Mike Fromer declines once again to come in and present it, then we should set up the chief to come back in, so there's no gray area whether we're participating or not participating.
I think that the people need to hear what kind of group this is now
Great.
and see what it is. So we need a presentation of what this group is. And
I know,
who's in it, what the goal is, what the mission is. Because if it's not, doesn't line up with what our goals and missions are for our UMass, why would we do it?
I already know what it is, and it was presented to us in February. There hasn't been this change when they talked about
Who presented
it.
in February?
Chief,
So
okay.
I never got the message that he was sharing with us that a new group has been formed, we have a new direction, we have new goals. And we're
Okay.
doing something completely different.
I emailed the audio, so I don't.
Okay, well,
I would
have
highly
to-
suggest for you to listen to the audio.
Okay, or maybe we'll just have to have him come present again and.
Chief, yeah, that would be great.
Something totally different. But I think it's the county. If the county wants our personnel to attend their meetings, then I think that they should come in and present what they're asking our personnel to attend.
So do I not have a second? No, okay.
All right, now I'm going to move to go into executive session for ORC
No,
121.
I think he has new business.
Public comment is closed.
New business, it wasn't on the agenda. I'd like to make a public comment based on new business.
We don't have public comment at this time based on new business. Everybody asked that public comment be moved to the front of the meeting. That was a request made by the,
Yeah, do it at the front.
that public comment be in the beginning of the meeting, and we've concluded public comment.
But I would have commented on it if it was on the agenda, but it wasn't because it's new business. So based on new information, I'd like to make a short public comment.
All right, I will check with our policy, but for now, go ahead.
Okay.
My name is Spencer Deary, and I live at 4440 Millblock Drive, Powell, Ohio, 43065. I'd like to make public comment today, specifically based on the new business that has come before this board after public comment. And I believe that the discussion that we've just had about whether or not we can even discuss the new business is part of the problem that these residents, like myself, see, is that there has been a campaign of there has been a misguided campaign of deception used in order to try and advance this absurd policy of changing the way that our locally controlled fire and EMS services are run here in Liberty Township. And by introducing this as new business, by doing exactly what we have expected to come out of this trustee board, rather than put on the agenda for the public to know that this proposal was going to be sent to the county prosecutor, that this proposal was going to be sent in response. Rather than have that on the agenda and allow people to come here and actually comment on that issue, you didn't allow that to happen. Now, you mentioned that the county has been asking time and time and time again for this proposal from you, and yet, despite all of those times that they've asked for that, despite the fact that this was clearly already written and prepared before this meeting, you chose not to put it on the agenda because you knew that there would be 250 people standing here, like there was 3 months ago, telling you that they want locally controlled fire and EMS services. That's what we told you then, that's what we're telling you now, and you know that the only way to avoid that and avoid the look that that has for your political careers is to deceive the public and make sure that they are not aware of that happening right now. The fact of the matter is that as an informed voter in Liberty Township, I have no idea what is in that proposal. I have no idea what's been going on behind closed doors. I have no idea about the conversations you're having with the county. And as a voter in Liberty Township who cares deeply about the safety services of this township and of my family and my neighbors, that is highly distressing to me. I also have not heard anything about the Powell City Council meeting that they have put forth. They have asked this body to have an open meeting with the Powell City Council. This body has agreed to have that meeting, and yet it has not happened for months. And the problem is that as a person who lives in Liberty Township, I have neighbors and friends who live in the city of Powell who do not feel represented by this body. So it is essential that those people be heard as well, that the Powell City Council is met with, and that these constituents, that people like me who go out and vote for you, understand that what is going on, what is on the agenda, what is going to be happening with our fire and EMS services, and the fact that there is a continued campaign of deception and misguided attempts to change that without us knowing is truly upsetting. Thank you.
Well, I'll start by saying, as somebody who ran the Hillary Clinton campaign on campus, I doubt that you voted for me. And as somebody who's running Melanie Farkas's, the Democrats' campaign, I highly doubt you voted for me.
I didn't vote for you.
Nobody said I vote for you.
I said
That
I
aside,
vote
sir,
for
that
the
aside,
Township
sir, does
Trustee.
it bother you all the meetings that Shira Eichhorn had about the stop signs? That you didn't know anything about them? Does that bother you?
It was on the agenda.
No, does it bother you that she had all of those meetings and you didn't know about it? Because you're saying I had meetings with the county and you're disturbed by that.
I'm disturbed by the fact that you had those meetings and then you brought them up under new business, so none of us.
No. I brought it up under new business, exactly. We didn't pass a resolution tonight.
You're trying to do something.
No, we passed a resolution to send it to legal.
Which is
We
the
didn't pass a
resolution?
resolution to pass it, because I just finished it
Right.
at 6:30. Yes, and you can look at my laptop and see the finish time of the document. I even talked to the dispatch today, and I said I'm going to try to finish it, honestly. Oh,
yeah.
I talked
You're so respectful.
So listen,
Yes.
because your time to talk is over. No, the freedom of speech, 3 minutes is up. No, you're wrong.
You have not let him talk.
You don't have any problems with all the backdoor meetings anybody else has. You have problems when conservatives have backdoor meetings.
No, you do not have.
I'm not concerned you can talk.
You're not a conservative.
Why is that
You're a nutcase.
Are you kidding?
Trustee Linehan, I fully support
Listen to me.
Trustee Icorn, who I know is.
Listen, I'm not having backdoor meetings. I
Because
meet with the county because we partner with them for EMS, we partner with them for roads, we partner with them for sewer. I have a ton of meetings that you don't know about, nobody knows about. Shire Icorn had multiple meetings. We have multiple meetings with residents. It's our job, and it's not our job to tell you. And quite frankly, I was to have meetings. That's our job. It's also our job to hire personnel. That is our position. That is our job. That falls under our job description. This document has been waiting to be completed for 2 months. All of us have received many copies of it.
So why wasn't it on the agenda?
Because I didn't know if I would finish it.
So you didn't.
I started working on it.
Tell the
I
public that
started
you're actually
completing
going
it.
to.
I wasn't sure I'd be done. In fact, when I spoke to the dispatch today, I said, I'm not sure. We might have it finished. If we do, I'll send it to you right afterwards. And you can nod your head. But the truth of the matter is this. There is nothing wrong with bringing this up under new business. That is completely acceptable. That is normal. That is the way it's always done. How do you think we bring up new business? Why do you think we have new business?
Trustee
Nothing
Linehan.
has happened. Thank you, you may be seated. Your 3 minutes was complete.
Well, you know what, can I speak for a second?
Please, thank you.
I think what the concern is, there's a big difference about talking about a stop sign, or basically last time we brought up about this proposal, the proposal was that either they give us the $1 million or we would hand over a township fire-based EMS. That to me is a significant difference.
We already passed a resolution. This is just in support of a resolution. Nothing on it asks for anything different. What it does is it backs it up with different numbers. If you want a copy of it, it is now public information. That's why I brought it up under new business.
Trustee Linehan, you can attack me all you want, but the fact of the matter is you didn't want
I'm
250
responding
people
to
standing
you.
here. You didn't want 250 people standing here and telling you what they really.
250 people
And that's
would
very
not have
disappointing.
been standing here if they knew we were going to respond to the county's proposal.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
We've done it before, we'll do it again. Thank you.
Well, I know that Trustee Icorn made a call and asked on her Facebook page and asked as many people. She wanted to see more people here than ever before, and that didn't happen.
Well, that was because it was going to be about the Friday administrator hire, but as we all know, there was absolutely no reason to have it there on Friday, and we could even talk about the open meeting laws and about, I'm not really sure anything on that Friday agenda had to be done when we had it Monday, and we had it in a room that only held, 9 people, so I hope everyone heard that. Trustee Linehan doesn't think that we can fill this room.
All I know is that it was all over Facebook for everybody to come and please send as many people. The bottom line is this. The bottom line is this. This response to their proposal has been discussed in public session repeatedly, over and over and over again. All this is, I can read it to you. Would you like to hear it?
Who knew about the meeting?
This
Who
would-
knew about the discussion?
What discussion?
You were saying it has been discussed in several meetings.
All of us. We've all discussed
You
it.
three?
Yes, in public session.
Oh, really?
Yes.
not very much.
Sure, we actually passed a resolution about it. There was already a resolution passed. This is just backup that the county has asked for the resolution that's already been passed. So I can read it to you if you'd like to hear it.
Sure, yes.
Sure, thank you. This is the counter proposal from the Liberty Township Board of Trustees regarding the Delaware County proposal dated October 30th, 2018 to the Liberty Township Board of Trustees. The Liberty Township Board of Trustees would like to thank the Delaware County Board of Commissioners for your October 30th proposal to have Delaware County EMS perform the EMS functions in Liberty Township, thus relieving the taxpayers of Liberty Township of the burden of funding the township-funded EMS department. After months of evaluation and consideration of the results of the Fitch report, and with the cooperation of Delcom personnel, Delaware County personnel, City of Delaware personnel, and Liberty Township personnel, all of whom we wish to thank, the Liberty Township Board of Trustees is confident that the appropriate actions have finally been taken to address the concerns of the report and this board that will improve service levels through reduced response times and increase positive patient outcome and lower taxes by creating another revenue stream to fund EMS. Whereas the county hired Fitch & Associates to conduct an EMS master plan dated July 5th, 2018. In the Fitch report it states, in the early 1970s, the county added a half-cent sales tax that was dedicated to fund EMS activities. At that time, the City of Delaware and Liberty Township already had established EMS departments. The report goes on to state, the City of Delaware and Liberty Township have a historical compensation agreement with the county, which compensates them on a per response and per transport basis as they opted in to the county EMS system when that was established in the early 1970s. Therefore, Liberty Township has been receiving monies from the sales tax to fund EMS activities. Whereas on a... Is that funny?
It was, but yes, go ahead, please.
We're not interested.
Okay, whereas, you don't want me to read it?
No.
Whereas on October 30th, 2018, County Administrator Mike Fromer submitted a written proposal to Liberty Township to encompass, quote, to encompass Delaware County EMS providing EMS service in place of the Liberty Township Fire Department, unquote. It is understood it costs an estimated $1 million for the county to operate one Delaware County EMS station. The county's proposal is to provide 2 advanced life support ambulance, one located at Station 321 and one located at Station 322. The ambulance will be staffed and 2 paramedics and be operated 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whereas Commissioner Lewis has commented that it would cost the county $2 million a year to provide EMS service to Liberty Township. She goes on to state the county has treated the townships unfairly and has promised to remedy the situation. This unfair treatment is due to the residents of Liberty Township paying an additional tax for EMS service, which has been occurring for decades. Whereas it is understood that the cost to run one county EMS station is estimated at $1 million per year. Liberty Township has 2 stations, which the county offered to operate in an estimated total of $2 million per year. During the township's proposed 10-year time frame, the county would spend an estimated $20 million, whereas the township's proposal of $1 million per year equals $10 million. This is a savings to the county of an estimated $10 million over the 10-year period. Whereas the Delaware County EMS performance metrics, the cost per call in 2014 was $19.73, 2015 was $2,000.53, 2016 was $1,895, 2017 $1,927, and 2018 was $1,785. The average cost out to $1926.60 over the last 5 years. Whereas in 2018, Liberty Township EMS had 1,947 runs. At the proposed $1 million request, this would equate to $513.61 per run. This is 26.7% of the average cost of the county EMS run over the last 5 years. Whereas the Board of Trustees would like to take into consideration that reimbursing the township $1,973 per run would represent a considerably significant increase, And while it does cost us approximately $3 million to fund the EMS portion of our fire and EMS department, and Commissioner Lewis stated that it would cost the county $2 million to provide EMS service to Liberty Township, we would like to propose a $1 million annual reimbursement to be paid by the county to Liberty Township to provide the funding for our EMS services. Whereas the Liberty Township Board of Trustees has also considered the March 2001 Ohio Attorney General Decision 20010111, which states it is clear that if a county or township provides emergency medical services, emergency medical personnel of the county or township are responsible for providing such services throughout the entire territory of the county or township. Therefore, based upon all of the above, the Liberty Township Board of Trustees, on behalf of the taxpayers they represent, would like to counter the county's offer by proposing that instead of providing the EMS service to the Liberty Township, that the county considers saving the county taxpayers approximately $10 million by entering into a 10-year contract with Liberty Township, whereby the county agrees to provide $1 million in reimbursements to the taxpayers of Liberty Township on an annual basis to be paid in 4 equal quarterly payments designated to fund EMS service that the township provide to its residents. These payments up to $250,000 to be paid on the first day of every quarter for the next 10 years. In return for that reimbursement, Liberty Township taxpayers will pay the remainder of the cost to fund their own EMS department and partner to the best of their ability with Delaware County EMS to implement a consistent, outcome-based medical protocol and agree to dispatch the closest, fastest available vehicle to all Liberty Township residents. The Liberty Township Board of Trustees respectfully requests a response to the proposal no later than June 10th, as it is irresponsible for the township to continue to budget based upon funding that is not backed by a contractual obligation. Once again, we would like to thank the county commissioners for providing the Fitch report and the October 30th proposal, as both have proven to be very useful in helping us to adopt the improvements that have been made, to make improvements, and to put measures in place to strengthen the future of our EMS service levels.
Exactly. Officer, and we need it. We need the money. We
Yeah.
get $250,000 a year from Delaware County. That's if the fire department reports it.
Well, and we do need more money, but
We do need more.
acting this way, in a way that's not
What way?
sustainable, with not working together with them, is going to cause,
We are working together.
Okay, that is going to be the issue, and I want to clarify. So if they say no to this $1 million, you guys are still saying you're going to then hand over the township fire-based EMS to the county?
This is a negotiation.
Well, you already started at $500,000 and switched it to $1 million, so it's really, I mean, that's.
This is the first written proposal response to their proposal.
Mike Fromer
Now, my
made it
hope
clear
is
that
that
you had many
they'll-
conversations with him throwing out $500,000. This is about saving face. We know, based on public documents, that the plan was to move it to township fire-based EMS to the county. When that didn't work out, now it's trying to save face by making ridiculous amounts without sitting down and talking with them. They're going, you know how this is going to work. They are looking at the county as a whole. We deserve more money. We need to work with it. But making demands without doing it in the proper manner is not going to get us the results that you're looking for.
Shira, I represent the people.
Melanie, you've done over and over. You've ignored the people that voted in the levy. 75%. Do not act like you represent the people. You represent an agenda that you've had for years.
I would propose that you are saving face for starting a hoax that created a
All the public documents are out there. All the public documents are out there, so everyone knows. There's no fake.
You're right, a lot of people do that.
They do know. They do.
We know, November's coming.
I'm going to move to go into executive session for ORC 12122G1.
Wait, I'm sorry, but wait. We're responding to a proposal that was suspended. So they're not asking for a response, just for the record.
That is what Mike Farmer has asked. for.
Gary,
We are giving.
Gary Merrill, Commissioner Gary Merrill, and Commissioner Barb Lewis suspended the proposal. So what are we responding
We're
to?
responding to their proposal.
It's suspended. What are we responding
We've been
to?
asked to respond.
No. You said
Sometimes
the
you
resolution.
can say it all the times you want, to the point that you
So-
might even believe it.
Well, then well, we can do what I usually do, that I leave here, I fact check your information, we find out that you're not accurate, and then I will make sure that the community is well aware. So we will find out. Just like the 911, all the things that you came up with till I actually spoke with them and found out, again, not accurate.
Please do.
I will.
I would encourage you to. And, you know, the other part is we're saving money with EMS. It's all turned out.
No, we're really not. We have a board of 3 people, a medical director that we're not. We're also spending money, Ohio Health, for training still. And now we have a ridiculous contract. Nothing you're doing is fiscally conservative, so please do not pretend like you are.
Okay, so we are in executive session.